Alright, so here we are in the build for the Brass Monkey. Today we're actually going to be putting in a double twisted 28 gauge microcoil. That's on a 5/64 bit, I believe. And it's about 6 wraps or 5-6 wraps. So when I say double twisted 28 gauge, what I mean is I took two pieces of twisted 28 and I twisted them together using a drill. So you can see that this is an end piece which I cut off. So you see the twisted right here and twisted right here. So, and then it's all twisted together again. So again, I did wrap these. It's a 5/6 wrap on a 5/64 bit using, this is all 28 gauge Kanthal. So what we're going to do, because of the way this is, it should be easier to do, but so we're going to take one coil. I pre-wrap these and then also heated them up just to hopefully make things easier. So I'm going to take one end in the negative and then the other end in the positive. Now I'm using, as you can see, I'm using that hole just so that we can get it more centered. You can see it's not bad. We'll do final adjustments after we put everything in, but for now that looks pretty good, I think. Okay, so we have the first one in. What you're going to want to do after you tighten everything up, at least for the first coil, in this case, because we're using such thick gauge, it's not very flexible either. I want to cut these off right away just to avoid anything. Trying to clear room, basically. So now we're going to take our second coil and make sure it's on the drill bit. Negative first. Oops. Negative first, and then your positive. Now this is where I'm running into problems because that other coil's in the way. So you might have to move it a bit, so I'll push it down for now. Hopefully that'll give me enough room to put this piece up in there. Come on, buddy, help me out. There we go. And you just push it in. There you go. So it looks almost alright. I'm going to lock in the positive or the negative first. And again, you don't have to crank it super hard. You don't want to strip your screws or anything like that. And we'll lock in the positive as well. Once you start seeing it bend and you pretty much know it's in there, we can tighten it up a bit more later. Now you want to trim the excess. Be careful over here, just because you don't want to cut the other one. There we go. So once you have all that, let's give it one more tighten on all the screws, just to make sure everything's in there nice. So that you can start adjusting to make sure everything fits nice.
Okay, so that's pretty much where I'm going to keep it. I haven't heated this up yet, but let's just take a look of where the ohmage that we're at. And it's saying 0.33. A little bit warmer than what I'm usually used to vaping, but it should be okay. So I'm going to put this on a mech and heat up the coils so we can, try and squish them together and get this working correctly. So I think this is pretty much, or pretty close to where, as best I can get it. But you can see it's going from the inside out. But yeah, so I'm going to put some cotton in this piece. I'm going to take some cotton. Okay, so that's the build that I put on for the Brass Monkey clone from Cigreen. And again, it's a double twisted 28 gauge microcoil and a 5/64 bit, and it's 5 or 6 wraps, and we're getting 0.39 ohms.